All right, folks. And really quick, for those of you that don't know, my name's Laura Ogando. I am the program manager for the Office of Digital Literacy and Inclusion at DIIT. I am joined by my colleagues. I believe Lisa's in and out. Lisa, are you available? Again, she's like pulling triple duty. I think she goes in and out of meetings.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for attending, to all of those who are here today. And I also look forward to learning, because as Laura said, this is not a session hosted by our office. So I look forward to learning with all of you. And I'll turn it back over to you, Laura.
Awesome. And Christina, I believe, is coming. She pinged me on the side and said she was running late, wrapping up another meeting. But your girl, Christina Bastias, will be here. Remember, she's our EdTech Implementation Program Manager. I think I said that backwards. Either way, she's on her way in, and she'll be here to support as well in the background. And again, we can't do any of this without our girl, Latiqua Spivey. She's on the back end. She posted some important links in the chat, and we'll repost them as well as we see some more folks coming in. So don't worry, all the links you need. In fact, there she goes. She's so on top of it. So she just put that in the chat. We'll continue to pop them in, because I see we're up to 116 folks in here today. And I'm sure that number is going to keep on climbing. But without further ado, let's kick this off. I'm going to throw it over to Derry and her team to get us started.
Oh my goodness, I have my pom-poms ready because it is Friday. I'm so excited. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for being here. I mean, this is the best place to be on a Friday. And as every week we say, this is your Friday professional development, digital opportunity to learn, grow, and, add some more information to your toolkit. So with that, I just want to really quickly introduce our team at FACE. I am Derry Rodriguez, and I want to kick it over to Mohammed, who's going to introduce himself really quickly.
Good morning, everyone. Shout out from the Bronx, Mohammed Morshed, Empowerment Liaison for District 11 and District 9. I'm very happy to be here. I'll kick it out to Diana.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm excited as always, full of energy. I was telling Derry yesterday, I was looking forward to today. I needed this so bad. Like I keep sharing, sometimes our nights and late nights and our weeks sometimes become a little bit dreadful with everything we do. But I know that once Friday comes, I'm empowered, I'm full of energy. It's good to see everyone here from all boroughs, all districts. I'm excited. We have 127 participants. It continues to grow, and this is the key, right? To continue to share out. So I'm excited. And, again, I support district in Staten Island 31 and districts in North Queens 24, 25, and 26. So I'm excited, and I can't wait for this, event today. Thank you.
And now, guys, I'm super excited because not only is Friday, and also wear red today, but it's also Black History Month. And in Black History Month, we're so excited because we're going to celebrate. We're just right now, all of our schools are celebrating, our districts are celebrating, our country is celebrating those who are impacted, our movement through Black History Month. So I actually want to introduce Tali, who's going to tell you guys a little bit about who she is, and also a wonderful partner at Digital Friday, Common Sense Education. So Tali, could you quickly introduce yourself?
Let me unmute, and thank you, Lori, for also posting that it's Black Lives Matter Week of Action. And I just put in the chat too that we have today, Common Sense has a distance learning chat. It's at 3 o'clock. It's 20 minutes. If you can join, there's the direct link. And I don't know, Laura, if you mind clicking on it so folks can see.
Yes.
But we're going to be talking about how there's more to Black history than slavery and civil rights, with a fantastic educator, Tori, and he will be in conversation with my colleague, Sue. It's the YouTube link.
Oh, my bad.
And I can post that Yeah, but we're gonna go there next. So that's perfect. So you've got the direct link, so you can feel free to share that on your social, share it with your colleagues. And you can see there's the header, and you can save that. And then actually, I'm glad, Laura, you had the other box open. And I'm just gonna actually, if someone can pop that in the chat, I might even be able to. You guys can see this is clearly, I always have a hard time multitasking, talking and chatting at the same time. But Wide Open School, which we share an activity from every week. I just put it in the chat. We have a lot of great resources celebrating Black history and culture. What Laura has in front of her screen is set to grades 3 through 5. So as a reminder, at the top, you can always click on your particular grade band. Actually, Laura, do you mind clicking on, yeah, grades K through 2? So I'm a DOE parent, and that's why I have to hop off in a minute to help my kids. But if you scroll down a little, I just wanted to share what a video that I really loved. Oh, there it is. The woman who did the moon math. So that's about Katherine Johnson. There's a great video and information. I chose this one because my kids are really into space, but there's a ton of great resources here. This is not going to disappear. It's not just for February, but please check it out. Share it with your families. Do it with your family, share it with your colleagues as well. Great, yeah. And as a reminder, we have partners with all these other organizations. So when you click on that link, it's going to take you directly to that website. So this is from NASA. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Derry.
Thank you.
Space.
And I feel like this is I love it because this is something that we can do, like host as a watch party. So guys, I mean, thank you so much, Tali, for always coming in and just sharing these wonderful resources, which they're free. I love free. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Laura just to kind of get us started, and then we're going to announce our first presentation, which is all face. It's all about those elections. So Laura, let's do the polling.
Absolutely. So 1 second here, I'm going to launch our poll. We always like to know who's in the room. So give me 1 second. I'm going to launch this poll. You should see it now on your screen. So let us know. We obviously anticipate a lot of you here are parent coordinators, but we know we have some of our FSCs and FLCs. We know every so often we get a few of our teachers, school secretaries, administrators. And if you happen to be one of the few folks who are identifying as other, please feel free in the chat to let us know what role you have, all right? All right, I'm going to give folks just a few more moments. Oh, cool. I see we have a product manager of the NYC Schools account with the Office of Academic Policy and Systems. Ooh, that's a mouthful. I thought I had a long title. That's a good one. So welcome to Micah. All right, and
I see a para.
Yeah, welcome. I love my paras. I worked closely with several paras when I was in the classroom, so I am always excited to see paras in the room. All right, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. I'll go ahead and share the results. As you can see, we have a ton of PCs in here, which makes me so excited because today's PD is going to definitely support the work that you are about to be doing, particularly with these CEC elections that we know are happening. So let me stop sharing this because guess what? We got one more poll for you. And as promised, okay, because I know you guys kept asking me, look, hold on, I'm gonna launch it. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna launch it. Take a look at all your options, all right? I finally got the all the feelings one. So I better get some responses on that. All right. You guys asked for it. So I better see some folks actually say you got all the feelings.
I think that's the most popular one so far, Laura.
I know it's going to be. We're about to not see like E and F be tied. We're about to see everyone put I, which is fine. Listen, I think I'm at all the feelings too. I'm excited. I am a little tired. I have to admit, I'm right there with Derry. I got that Friday fog a little bit. It is what it is. I think it's the anticipation of break. Christina and Lisa and I, we were talking about that, and we were all saying like, man, we need this break. It's almost here. It's so close. I can taste it.
close.
Oh,
I think my mind
All
is on
right.
a beach somewhere. Like Laura, your picture B, that's me. All
yeah.
right.
All right. So I'm going to give folks just a few more moments to respond to our feelings poll. And I think you know which one is winning. I'm going to share it with you guys in just a moment. But yep. And Katrina's changing her mind. I'm all of the above. Yep. Own it. It's okay. Own it. You can have all the feelings right now. And I see someone, I'll just giving folks a few more moments to respond. Someone messaged me and asked, like, I'm gonna need to learn how to do these polls. Listen, the way Zoom polls work, it's best if you set them up before your meeting. When you go into Zoom, you log in, you'll see your meeting, and you actually have the ability to create a poll. It's the way I do it, and it's actually pretty easy. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prompt folks. Look back at our Zoom training because he went over a lot of the features of Zoom. So if you're feeling like, oh man, I wish I knew how to do this, like, you know, Laura and the team are doing all these cool things in Zoom, I want to do them too. Go back and check out that Zoom training video. I know when he did it, he went ever so slightly fast, but you know, that's the beauty of a recording. You can always go back, review, and kind of take in what you need. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and end our poll and look at the results. Guys, all the feelings.
All the feelings.
All the feelings. And I think that's a great way to head into this PD that we're about to do, because I think you're going to have all the feelings about what you're going to learn today. So I'm going to turn it over to Derry to introduce our guest of the hour.
So our guest of the hour is no other than our own colleagues at FACE, the consultant team, the campaign team, and not only that, our partners in this work. Pamela Johnson. Pamela, do you want to turn on your camera and join us? And we also have our wonderful colleague at FACE. I believe Martha's here as well.
No, Martha had a conflict. It's Poonam who's here and Mike is here.
Oh, Micah Punai, welcome to your Friday. Oh my gosh. You guys are like our popular topic, all about NYCSA. So all things NYCSA today. So guys, if you have questions, we're going to drop the Google form where you can ask us questions. I'm just going to turn it over to Pamela to get us started. So enjoy all things NYCSA, PAMIS, and also the CEC election campaign.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Pamela Johnson. My colleagues Poonam Das and Micah Pearson, who is the guru of NYCSA, is here. And so what I want to do is, the applications opened up for parents on Monday, and I have a very short presentation that I wanted to show. And then we're going to go into NYCSA and asking the PCs, do they have any questions? And we could do some real time problem solving with with the issues that they have. So if I can share my screen, let's see. Poonam, do me a favor. Can you pull up the PowerPoint presentation, the parent? Because I am not seeing it on mine. The parent 3.
Sure thing. I'll let it right now.
I'm trying to find it. It's not coming up. Bear with us, technical difficulties. Oh, I got it. Okay. Here we go. Can everyone see that?
We see you.
Okay. And you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Yes. Okay. So this week started the opening of the candidates application online. And this year is a little bit different because it has been expanded. In the past, we only had the treasurer, the president, and the secretary be able to make decisions about who could sit on the CEC. And many parents were like, well, our children are involved, and I want to be a part of the process, and I may just want to run for a candidacy. So it is now opened up to the parents of New York City school children. And the only way to do that is to go into NYCSA. And NYCSA is the New York City schools student account. And I'm going to go through the election process, and then we're going to go in through to look at NYCSA. So how can you participate as parents and leaders in our community? We want to engage parents to let them know, go to a CEC meeting or a citywide education council meeting. And so that you can be able to see what is required, what, commitments you have, that, you may not be able to be a candidate, or you may be a candidate, or you're thinking about being a candidate, but to just get the information. So the biggest thing is, if you're not going to be a candidate, make sure that you vote from May 1st through May 11th. There are 32 councils, 4 are citywides. What are citywides? So the population for CCHS, which is Citywide Council for High Schools, is high schools. CCSE, which is Citywide Council for Special Education, are students with IEPs. And then you have the Citywide Council for English Language Learners and the Citywide Council for D75. And each CEC advocates for a large population of students in their target area. So CECs, you probably already know, they host town halls with the chancellor. They advise on education, they decide on zoning, and they definitely collaborate with superintendents to improve students. Now, the citywides are a little bit different because they do advise and comment on policies, but they issue an annual report. Okay, so now you have a parent, and the parent says to you, I don't know what I'm eligible for. I want to run to be a candidate, but I don't know what I'm eligible for. So Nia here has a family, and her daughter is in the Citywide Council for Special Education, and which is in CEC 24, and she has a son who's in high school. Nia can now apply to be a candidate for CCSE, CEC 24, and CCHS. And that's the same thing with Vladimir. His son is in CEC 14, and he's an L student, a citywide English language learner, and he can apply for both. So NYCSA, once you already have an account with NYCSA, it preloads your students' information. So it's extremely important that when you sign up for NYCSA, that you attach all of your children to your account. You link them to your account. And when you go in, you'll see that your students are listed. If all your students are not listed here, your children are not listed here, then we need to link. You can link your student by going to manage account and linking the student. If you don't see all your students here. So once you're in, you go to apply now. And once you click on apply now, it will take you into the application. And this is what the application looks like. So all of your children's programs that they're in will be listed here, and the availability of the councils that you're eligible for will be listed here. So the first one is a Citywide Council on English Language Learners. And you have a choice. Do you want to apply, or you wish not to apply? And you make those decisions based on what council you prefer to sit on. Once you do that, then you have to determine which council is your number 1 and which council is your number 2. You have to rank choice your preferences. The last thing you will have to do is submit a candidate statement. It is 650 words. And of course, you want to talk about your experience, which you've done on a PA, PTA, SLT, DLT, and anything, if you've done anything in the community, like sat on a community board, you worked in an organization, you did cold drives. Those are the things that you want to put in your candidate statement. The only thing to remember is that it doesn't do a spell check. So I would like do it in a Word document, make sure it's spell checked for grammar, and then I copy and paste it into this document. If you choose not to submit a statement, you do not have to. You can click on choose. I do not want to submit a statement. But remember, when you submit a statement and a parent goes to vote, they're able to see your statement and to get a better understanding of you when they get a chance to vote. So now, a couple of things to remember. Make sure that parents have their own separate New York City NYCSA account, because the student, if they have two custodial parents, they both can have two separate accounts. And what's happening is sometimes they're blended. So you can have a mother and a father, and they just open up one account. But if they open it under the father's name, the mother cannot run because the father is listed in the NYCSA account. The mother now would have to go and open up her own account so that she can run. Every public school student is eligible to, their parent is eligible to run for any council seat that serves their student. You can run for multiple councils, and the same school rule applies. So if you have a mother and father and they both apply for CEC, they cannot do that. They cannot run for the same CEC. They can run for different councils, like citywide council for high schools, and one runs for CEC, but they can't run for the same council. To vote, it's one vote per child. And a New York City Department of Education screen will come up. You will see this. It's oranged out because that's where the student's name is. It says CEC 10. You click on start. It will open up. You will see the candidates. You will see the candidate statements. You can choose the candidate that you would like to choose. And then it will close and it will put you back here. And the next council up would be CEC 14. And you would just actually really go down the line. Once you start it, you can vote. Once you finish, it will bring you back into the next choice where you can pick another council and start to vote on that council. So the dates to remember are February 1st through the 28th, March 15th through the 30th, which is the candidates forum, May 1st through the 11th, you're voting, and then June 26th is the orientation. But the big push was for May 1st for everybody to get on NYCSA, because we wanted as many parents on NYCSA so they can vote and so that they can be a candidate. And that it's still a big push. And we're still trying to get parents that are set up, and we're still trying to move the needle so that every parent can have an opportunity to vote and be a candidate. So just some asks, make sure that your parents are signed up so they can run and vote, make sure that they're linked. We just want to be able to, allow parents to go to CEC meetings. You can tell your parents about running and voting and the importance of it. NYCSA is not just for voting. NYCSA, you can get your IEP, you can get your child's transportation, report card. There's a lot of things in NYCSA that are available to parents, and I'm sure it's the one-stop shop, and I'm sure more things will be added later on. But the importance right now is to get them signed up. And I just want to thank you so much. That's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, you can email them as well. We're here to answer questions, but it's elections2021@schools.nyc.gov. And I'm going to turn it over. Can I turn it over, Debbie? Are we pressed?
We could turn it over to Micah, but what I want to do is I want to do something a little bit different. Micah, we have so many questions for you, and I'm going to ask the PCs, the FLCs, and our FSCs who are ready to ask you questions. So if you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask Micah the question, because he knows the answer. So we got a person so that you guys can ask the question. So with that, Micah, if you want to introduce yourself and Puma, and let us know how can we get our parents to get signed up to this NYCSA account?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I am Micah Peterson. I am the product manager for NYC Schools Accounts as part of the Office of Academic Policy and Systems. I know it's a mouthful. So yeah, I really just want to like hear questions from you all. I mean, it's like technical questions you're having, issues you're having with helping parents set up accounts. I will try to do my best to help troubleshoot those issues. I mean, I figure it's better than just giving a demo of how it works. Because again, you guys are already signing up parents for accounts, so you know how FAM works. So I just want to, walk through, I guess, like hear questions and see how I can best assist you in helping parents sign up for accounts. So yeah, please shout questions, put them in the chat.
Well, can I just jump in one sec?
Yeah.
Micah, we Yvette Crespo was here, and I see a couple other people who I know, and they really had some best practices. I know that some PCs are on their own. I know some PCs have support. But if you don't have the support, ask your principal to be able to give other people access to FAM. Like, the school secretary probably has access already, but if you have a teacher who can get a hold of the parents in Pupil Path or Google Class, there's some creative ways that they've been trying to get to parents and to, help move the needle. So if you have in your FLCs are one-stop shop. Like, they know who and what schools are doing well and what schools need help. And if you feel like you're struggling or you need help, I'm sure your FLC can buddy you with a school that's got 100% or a school that's in the 90s, so that you'll be able to get their best practices and move your needle as well. So I just wanted to say that. If you have your questions, open up your mind.
Yes, hello?
Hi.
Yes, I have a question for my L parents. Now, how can I go about, because they do not have an email address. So how can I help the parents? I know an email address is needed to create the account.
Mhm.
So how can I assist the L parents in obtaining an email address in order to create the account?
Ooh, yeah, actually, Pamela, you want to answer that?
So some best practices. We've had PCs who have helped create the account. We have parents who cannot read or write. And what you would do is if they're an L, you'd have to find someone who would actually speak that language, and they would be able to help them and walk them through creating an email account. And that's some of the best practices I've heard across the board about those who do not have accounts. You can help create them account. You could do a Gmail account, a Yahoo account. You definitely need to have someone who speaks the language to help them do that.
Okay, so you're saying that I, as a parent coordinator, can create the account for the
You can
parent?
assist them. Yes, you can. You can assist them with it. Someone in the school, like a school aide that translates or interprets, helps interpretation, can assist you. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Because you're supposed to help the parent all the way through to make that account.
Right, but we have this different languages, Arabic, Fulani. So
Well, the
I didn't hear you. Hello, I'm not hearing
sorry.
you.
Yeah, unmute.
The interpretation services, the DOE interpretation services, if you use them, if in a case like that, I know it's one-to-one kind of stuff, but you can actually do it. I've done that.
Right, but it's more than one parent.
So what we're gonna do is that if you have further questions, you can add it to the Google form. But I'm gonna turn it back over to Micah. There's also
You're muted.
there is a New York City school account customer service line, desk line. So that's awesome. So any questions you have for NYCSA, there's a service desk. I'm gonna drop it again. So Micah, what else do we have?
Let's see. I see a couple of hands up, but one thing I do want to note too is that we have some exciting announcements coming up. So it was the end of the term, so report cards are starting to display in NYCSA. So again, if you want to encourage parents to sign up for accounts, report cards are there. We will also, beginning on February 16th, show promotion and doubt letters. So that will be coming into NYCSA as well. So so again, tell parents like, hey, this is another one more reason to sign up. And again, I think also adding to the point earlier, for families of L's, NYCSA is translated into all the DOE languages. So Arabic, Bengali, Chinese, French, Spanish, Russian, Korean, Urdu. Did I say Spanish? Spanish? Okay, and English. So it is translated. Every single page is translated. So just always keep that in mind too. All of our account creation code letters are available in different languages. A parent can really go from beginning to end in any of those languages. So always keep that in mind as well. All right, so questions. I see some hands up. Who wants to go first? Rosa. Or whoever wants to shout a question. Yeah.
This is Rosa. How are you, Micah? I just wanted to share that I spent an hour and 26 minutes yesterday with a parent back and forth through emails because they were having issues accessing the account. Even though they already had an account, it kept showing that they had to redo it all over again and was asking them for an access code. So after many attempts and many tries, out of frustration, I said, you know what, I'll bite the bullet. If I get in trouble, I'll explain why. So I removed the account from the parent. Once I did that, it generated a code and another code letter, and it let the parent recreate the account again. So that was very helpful. The other thing that I'm coming across is that the consent form, the medical consent form that they're filling out, freezes and won't let them move to the next page.
Oh,
so even if they click yes or if they click no, it stays on that. Every time they sign up, it comes up again.
That's interesting. I haven't heard about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I know sometimes, I know there's like also a save button at the bottom. I know, and I'm wondering maybe sometimes maybe the parents are clicking the save at the bottom, but thank you for bringing that up. I would definitely bring that up to developers and see if we're encountering that and other use cases. Also something that is a fun little troubleshooting thing. If you're finding that you create an account for a parent and then they're going in and they're like keeping asked for account creation code, what we're sometimes finding is that the email address that they use to create an account with when they go see you is not the same email address they're using when they're trying to log in. So, maybe they're doing, Micah Peterson at Gmail when I like go to the PC, but then I'm going to Micah Peterson at Yahoo when I'm like logging into NYCSA, and like that's causing an issue. So always just make sure that the parent if they're having issues, like always ask like, what email are you using to log in? Because sometimes that is a very common thing. It's surprising how often that happens.
Those I have been able to address is the ones where I provide them the email, because I screenshot the email that they used and they tried. I've tried it for them and it still gives us trouble once in a blue moon. Thank you so much, Micah, though, for some of the answers you've given me, because it really, really supports what I'm doing.
Okay, I'm glad.
Excuse me, I'm going to jump in on that. I'm sorry, can you hear me? I'm going to jump in on that and just piggyback on what she just said, because I had the same experience yesterday with the page freezing when they get to the point where you're going to provide or deny consent, and then it would go back around and then it would drop people off. Now that could also be because it was slammed yesterday, but I had the same exact thing happen, so I just wanted to let her know she wasn't alone.
Okay, thank you. I mean, again, like the more we hear about it, that's very important to hear. So like
what I did was I signed on as the parent and with them. So she was on the same screen as I was at her house and as I was on my house. And then I provided the consent for her. And again, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. Because it was frozen. She couldn't do anything on her side. Uh-oh, and now you're frozen. I can't hear you.
Micah, unmute yourself.
Am I unmuted now? You hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about that. I'm having like a bad connection right now, so please forgive me if I like randomly freeze. Other questions? Feel free to shout it out. Go for it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
So
are you guys also in tax letters? Because a lot of asking for those forms.
So, okay, so here's the thing about face-to-face letters, right? So face-to-face letters face-to-face letters do not appear in NYCSA. However, a parent can use like a screenshot of the enrollment screen and the student detail screen as a proxy for the face-to-face letter. We have some guidance. I could put a link to the chat. It's in our student records guidance, which is available on the Info Hub. for sharing records. And those screenshots can be used as a proxy for face-to-face letters if that is requested by the agent, by those particular agencies. But we do not have physical face-to-face letters, do not live in NYCSA. Oh, thank you, Poonam. Sergio, I think you had a question?
Yeah, thank you. I have a request. Is it possible to include in the report, the Students Without NYCSA Accounts report, is it possible to include the account creation code? I'm in a middle school, so we're fully remote, and there's no way for us like to print the letters and give them to the students to give to their parents. So one of the things that we do is we do a lot of email merges. And if you were to include the account creation codes, it would make it easier for us to do an email merge with each of those parents, and they just get the code. I mean, I could just copy and paste the letter and I just include those, the data, but that report does not include the account creation code.
Yeah, so great question. So the reports themselves, unfortunately, because of a security issue, they do not have the codes. However, there is a workaround. So once a month, the academic policy leads share a file with principals through their remote Google Drives, which includes account creation codes for students who do not have accounts. If you please reach out to your principals and ask them about this file. I think a lot of principals know about it, but some principals don't. Unfortunately, that's just DOE life. So ask them about it. And if they don't know
what is the name again?
Yeah.
What is the name of that?
Well, so I don't know the exact name of the file, but academic policy leads share from the BCOs, share those with principals in their remote Google Drives. So I think it's probably like NYC, I think it's probably called like the NYCSA account creation code file or something like that. But principals are receiving that once a month, approximately. So I would recommend reaching out to your principals and getting more and working with them to get that particular file. To get those codes. So it is shared once a month. But again, I don't know how, I think there probably is a difference in like how, different academic policy leads and the principals are working to use those files, but those files, there are files that are sent once a month to principals that is available on their remote Google Drives. So I would say work with your principal to get those accounts, get those files, so then you can use those to get the account creation codes.
Thank you.
But I have the spreadsheet from my principal, but it doesn't include, like, if a parent already, I think I read somebody answer, but if a parent already has the account, we can't generate a letter and there's no code. So that's the thing I've been getting. They can't do the consent form or they can't do anything with the account because it says, oh, it looks like you already have this account, and it gives the address they use, but their parents don't have access to that account and they can't add a student.
Interesting. Wait, so the account's created, but the account, like the email address.
I don't know when they create, like they don't even know how they have an account. And so when we're trying to add the student, I can't generate the letter, I can't get the code. And when I go to the spreadsheet, I have it right here. It doesn't, like if they already have the account, like it won't give me that creation code.
Okay, so it sounds like they have an account, but maybe they just haven't they don't, like, this is an email address either they don't use or something like that. So what you can do is if you go to guardian associations or student associations, you can enter student ID, you can see the email address of that parent, and they say like, okay, this is not the email address that the parent uses. Go to change the email address to an account that they actually do use, and then make sure the parent verifies their email. So here's like a fun thing I just found out, which I again, like, it's really funny. So if you use the change email feature, you change the parent's email, and FAM, it doesn't show you the new parent, like the parent's new email until they verify their email address. So the system will still display their old email address until they verify it. So if you like, let's say you go through this process and they never verify it, and then they're like, oh, where's my account? Like, you won't see their new email address until they click it. So
but
make sure
after doing that, we don't have a code, so they cannot.
They don't need a code.
Excuse me, wouldn't it be better to just, because I had that issue as well, just to go in the PCs, to go in to reset the account, and then you just put the email address and password and everything new?
I mean, you could do that. I mean, but the account's already created. Because it sounds like the account's already
No,
created.
it's saying reset the account. It's created, but you could reset it. The PCs could reset, not the parent, but the PC.
Totally, exactly. They could reset the password.
That's the best way, yes.
As well. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's how I think. Hi, Melissa Applebaum, PC at District 20. I find that that's the easiest way, and I'm feeling like the biggest confusion right now is the word creation code, because that was created when this turned over from ARIS to New York City Schools accounts. And we needed to print out either a single letter or more so the whole entire school letter. You sent on the creation code, they start to set up their own account. However, what everybody's saying here is it's either most of the circumstances are that they have an account, they haven't used it, their password is no longer valid. They need to go back in and either reset the account like another PC had just said, or you can also go in and look with the email address. Most schools at this point that we are remote should have documents or an Excel spreadsheet or some sort of sheet that has every parent's phone number, OSIS number, an email to get in touch with them with. You take their email and you go in and check if they have an account. If they have an account, you could check to see if their students have been added, or there may be another sibling from another school and you need to add the other sibling. I find that doing that, even with parents, that like just emailing them, our records indicate you haven't been using your account. Here is a new password reset. And once you do that, then their name comes off that generated account and they'll reach out to you if they need help. So I find that the confusion here is the word creation code, because there really is no longer a creation code. It's either you're setting up the account for them or resetting it or adding a student to the account that they already tried to create. Also, there's a huge confusion right now because there's My Schools. So some parents are trying to get into their My Schools account because they're trying to, apply to middle school, kindergarten, high school, and we're sending them a whole nother information with My Student. And people are confused that My Schools is only for the application process. It's not My Student for your IEPs, for your transportation, for your report cards, for voting purposes. So I feel like there's so many different accounts right now that parents are very confused, especially if they do not speak English.
Well, with that said, I'm going to take a quick pause. I want everybody to take a deep breath in. This is my mindfulness technique. And because you know what? This was awesome, guys. These were a lot of great feedback from Micah and his team. And Micah, this is our Friday. This is what we do on Fridays. So with that, what I would like to do is actually reintroduce the Google form for more questions, because what we did was we did a quick lightning round of all things NYCSA. But I want to change the subject a little bit and go into FAMIS. I believe that Micah and Puma is just going to walk us through FAMIS really quickly to start asking questions regarding FAM. So I'm going to turn it over to Micah. If you have questions and about NYCSA and we didn't get to your question, we're going to drop in the chat the Google form, and you can ask your questions because we want to generate a huge list with FAQs for those who weren't able to participate today. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Micah to walk us through FAM.
Great. All right, let me share my screen for you. All right. So yeah, so here is FAM. So I'm sure you're all very aware of this. So this is again, this is the main place to create NYCSA accounts. There's the in-person, the online options. We also have the authorization letter, which is again, like as we were talking about earlier, the account creation code. I think probably is better to call them authorization letters. I think that probably is a better name for it. When you select it, you can select either by the student's ID number, or you can select multiple. You can select the school. I'll just pick, it's easy. Remember 01 and 015. You can click by official class or day period, and then print out the a number of letters that are still available for that particular official class. Other features, again, you could change email address. Is something I was talking about earlier. This is how you can change a parent's email. the parent must verify their email address in their email in their inbox in order for the change to take effect in FAM. So again, just keep that in mind that the parent will need to log in to verify their email address. Typically the code should come within seconds, but I think like in almost any systems, I'm sure you probably have, create an account somewhere and they're like, we're gonna send you a verification email and it takes like 10 minutes. That can happen. So just keep that in mind. Of course, resetting an account, helps the parent if you want to reset their password, add student. Again, so if a parent already has one account and you want to add additional students to that account, you can add them here. The great thing about the add student functionality is that once a parent has that you create an account with the parent and they have, let's say they have students at other schools, they don't have to go to other schools to have those accounts created. You can actually go and you'll be able to add any of their students through this functionality right here. So the parent does not need to go to, the elementary school and the middle school to get their account created. They can do it all at one stop, which is great. Same thing with the remove. If you accidentally added the wrong student, you have that as well. Actually, I think that, I don't know if you guys actually have that functionality. I think so, yeah, anyway. And then also account management, you can, see what students are associated with which email addresses. And of course, we have the reports, which is the latest feature where we can see students who are not linked to NYCSA accounts. I know you all are very, very aware of this report. We are still in the process of adding additional reports, so keep an eye out. I don't have any news yet to announce when they'll be available, but they will be coming soon. Expect a lot more accounts to help with tracking who has the accounts, how many accounts have been created at your school, and how people are using those accounts. So that is coming very, very soon. So super excited for this for that functionality that will be coming. Actually, I'm gonna open up for questions. Oh, did I freeze? No, I didn't freeze. Okay. Yeah, open up to questions. If anyone has any questions about FAM or Poonam, or if you want to say anything in addition.
Hello. No, I think those were good step-by-step review. Does anyone have any questions? We can honestly troubleshoot right now if you have like a specific case.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have at least 2 students with 2 different authorization codes for each parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering why that would be and which code should I share with the parents so that they can create their account? And once they use a code to open the account, will they still pop up on the list of people who don't have an account because there's still another code unused in their name?
Right. So, if a child is like, let's say, so it sounds like the child has like the mother and the father, they both have codes, right? So
yes.
So the codes are unique to every guardian and child. So if a mother has 3 children, each code will be unique between her and that child. Likewise, if there's a father, father's there as well, like his codes will be unique for each of his 3 children as well. So really that family would have 6 unique codes, right? So the father is linked to 3, the mother's linked to 3.
No, this is, Micah, this is for the same student, same OSIS number.
But it's 2 different parents, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so mother has 2 codes and father has 2 codes.
Wait, the father has 2 codes and mother has 2 codes?
Yes.
For one child? So, okay, so that sounds like that's like a duplication issue in ATS. It sounds like there's potentially that the mother's listed twice on the child's ATS record as well as the father. That's what that sounds like.
Okay, why would
Yeah,
that
because if the mother is appearing twice on a report and the father's appearing twice, that means that there's a duplicate on the ATS record. So I would recommend
the secretary.
They'll go with the secretary and clean up those records. That's what it sounds like to me, based on your description. So I think once that's cleaned up, the duplicates should disappear. So then it'll be one for the mother and one for the father.
Thank you.
Yeah, problem.
So hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
Hello.
So a question I have is I have a student. The father is on the account and the mother's not. So that's the same thing. I would have to go into ATS. I mean, actually have the secretary go into ATS and update it and add the other parent.
That's
Okay,
correct.
so that
Yeah.
kind of answered my question. The other question was, I don't know if I missed this or not. The online,
pork, they have ham, but they don't serve beef anymore.
I think
so,
Pork is worse.
okay, so on where it says online, so with that online on the create accounts, we can create an account for the parents as well?
So the online option is so when COVID started, we wanted to make sure that like there was like a pathway. I don't know why I did this, but there's a pathway for accounts to still be created just by a parent not be able to actually physically go into the school. So the online option is really just to say like instead of the parent that way if the parent calls in or like if you guys like do like a Zoom chat. That is like the same pathway as in person, but it's just, you're using a screen as opposed to doing in person and looking at their ID and things like that, or over the phone. So that's what the online is, just to let you know that that's like another pathway you can take. But it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean like creating the account for them. I mean, you can system and create the account, but you shouldn't go in and like make the account for them and be like, here's your email, ideally.
So, Micah, we have our next participant who would like to ask a question, and that is our girl, Yvette Crespo.
Hey, how's it going?
So, Micah, I emailed you privately about something else, but I do have a question regarding something we started earlier. Hello, everybody, and happy Fly Day. I'm asking with students that are foster children,
yes,
right, with the foster parent. Like once we get everything else out the way, how do the PCs handle that? Do you have a suggestion?
Ooh, so this is something that we, so my office, we are working with ACS to really kind of help figure this out a little bit more and help create some better guidance. Because currently right now, again, we know that like, there's instances where families are, or like for foster students are bouncing from family to family. The HS record isn't always updated to reflect the new foster parent and things like that. We are like, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of tips as of right now. However, on the DOE wiki, on the ATS wiki, we do have guidance on how to code foster care students in ATS. We're still working on, like once the data is updated in ATS and all the indicators are correct in ATS, we're hoping to have the information flow into NYCSA. So then those like foster care parents, foster care families, biological parents can have the correct access that they are supposed to have. But currently right now, we're still working through all those nooks and crannies right now. So unfortunately, I don't have like a whole lot of guidance right now, but we are working on it, and
Thank you. I just wanted to know, I don't want the PCs to just stay there. So I kind of just advise them to keep moving on the other cases while we are figuring it out on those foster agencies.
No problem. Yeah, but definitely, like if you guys want to like take a look at the ATS wiki on foster care stuff, if you like just to give you, if you want to like learn a little more about it. I mean, it is complicated, and I'm learning something new every day that about how to best code our system to support those families. So, but thank you. That's a great question, Yvette. Thank you.
Mika.
I have a question.
Oh,
Mika.
I hear two questions.
Yes, I was speaking about the foster care. I faced that situation like last week, but my issue was I was able to create an NYCSA account for the foster mom, but the agency wanted to also to have access. So that was my issue. The agency wanted to have access, but I already create one for the foster care mom.
Yeah.
So that was the confusion that I have. So that was I'm happy she highlighted that.
Yeah.
But also my second thing is like, which other strategy, instead of just using us as a PC to do the outreach, are we thinking about, because NYCSA is really a lifesaver for everybody, but other people are already using other kind of like jump rope or the app, but it seems like some people have still difficulties to understand that, to do this, to say that yes, they're buying this and they're gonna promote this. So how can we make sure that we're gonna speak to the principal to also use other, like the teachers, like everybody can be involved with this right now?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So I think that like if you're trying to sell parents on trying to use NYCSA, I mean, I would say the big thing is, NYCSA is the only place where a parent can see their child's busing information. So if the child does take busing, that's the only place they can see it, right? They're not going to get it in Jump Rope or Jupiter or Pupil Path or anything like that. So that's a big selling point. The other thing is IEPs. We do not have a place available for IEPs to be shown anywhere else. So again, if you're for students or parents of IEPs, that's a great tool. We have for students that are entering high school, we have a graduation tracker, so a parent can really see where their progress is for their student. But also too, I think NYCSA is the only place where you can really find information directly from central DOE. Sure, I think these other tools, the principal might be able to send messages out back to schools, to families, but this is the only place we're really going to get up-to-date information about that. Oh, also we have a COVID consent form. You're not going to get that on other applications, and we're having more forms coming in soon too, that I can't announce yet, but we have more forms coming that will be available for families as well. That again, you can't use another application for those things. So I think we for a lot of things that are required to go to a school to DOE, NYCSA is where it's at. And yeah, if you want to use other tools, you can, but we have so many other great things that are currently application and are trying to keep coming. Oh, also CEC election. You can't vote without NYCSA account. So there you go. So lots. Here's a check.
We have another question from Ivory. Ivory, you can unmute yourself now.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So my question is, I'm having problems trying to print the entire school. I'm able to print single letters, but I wanted to print the school so I can be able to, send it to the parents, but I'm having some issues. I've never print whole before, so I just need some guidance.
Yeah, sure. So what you do is that you go, I'll go back. So just go to print multiple. Boop. Let's say I'll just enter a school. So you enter your school. And I like to do professional class because that's how I am. And then from there, you select your teacher. And I think I actually collect multiples, but you only get due up to, I think, to 1,000. Not that you ever want to print that many, but you do that and you click generate letters. I think one thing to keep in mind is that you make sure your pop-up blockers are off, because I know sometimes that will be a reason that it will stop. So make sure your pop-up blockers are off and you click generate letters, and it should work. If you're having issues, yeah, please feel free to email NYC Schools account at schools, and they can help troubleshoot as well. But that should be, but yeah, make sure your pop-up blockers are off, because I think sometimes that can be I know definitely had that happen to me where I'm like, why is it not working? You that or try.
Okay. Yeah, because it didn't show anything. It said it was printing. It said it was generated, and then nothing came out.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I have maybe room for time for one more question. Unfortunately, I have to hop off another call. But any other questions?
Yes, I have a question, Micah. I was speaking with Carolyn, the family support coordinator for District 31, and she has shared with me a link that she said that she would like for the PCs to have that will help support the NYCSA and the parents, because it appears that what the parent sees versus what we see is totally different. And sometimes when they have inquiries and situations that they need support, if the PCs were able to see what the parent sees, they can help troubleshoot these inquiries right there and then live. And she did send me the link. However, I was not able to get in. So I did escalate this to LOEs to see why I was not able to get in. But I can forward this to you. So I know you have to get off, and then maybe you can help support this process at some point, because that's the goal. And we're still trying to help the PCs and the parents get in and create the accounts as well.
Great. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, please share it over and we can help troubleshoot.
Thank you.
Also, with that said, Micah, thank you so much. We are done. I mean, you're amazing. We were just shooting you some questions. You were like, I got this.
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you also, Puna, for answering questions also on the line, on the chat. Again, guys, if you have questions, it's not over. I'm gonna drop really quickly the question form, and the questions, you can fill it out. Either ask a question to
Spend a
Faith.
little bit of time on Bill through our.
You can ask questions to Faith. So if you have a question for Pamela, so Pamela Johnson, thank you so much for letting us know what we can do to support the CEC elections, because it's on. We just kicked it off. We kicked off election season. So again, if you have a question for FACE, DIIT, the NYCSA team, we are here to answer your question. So it is not over. I'm going to drop the chat right now. And we're also going to add the attendance form because we're going to end a little bit early today. I know a lot of folks have to jump off, but we will stay behind for another 5 minutes. If you have questions regarding the campaign, Pamela is here. So a Q&A, if you have questions, or if you have a best practice or something that, how are you going, actually, let me ask you a question. How are you going to use the information you learned today? In the chat, I would love to hear, how are you going to use the information you learned today? Let's see this. And if you want to also unmute yourself, unmute. Let's chat. It's Friday. Why not?
Hey, good morning, Ms. Rodriguez. I have a question. I had to leave the meeting early, but could come in, just ask this question. Do parents have the ability to print out their school letters for taxes with NYCSA account?
I can take that question.
Yes.
Share my screen. So right now, let me share this FAQ document. Actually, let me go on the account.
What they can do is she's getting ready to pull up a screenshot of what they can take, but it's not the actual letter. If you need an actual letter, you have to go to the school secretary. This is just a screenshot.
Okay, so basically, if they need a letter, they still have to go through the secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you very much. That was my question. I have concern.
Thank you, Edwin. And again, if you have a question, you can fill out the questionnaire form. And then we actually, thank you so much, Latiqua. She dropped the attendance form. So this is your attendance to give you credit that you're here. And to our teachers on the line, I forgot to give you guys to say thank you for partnering up with us, because teachers are our strongest allies. So if you want to get the word out for NYCSA account, I always, I love my teachers. I remember, I remember all my teachers. My favorite teacher was actually my 6th grade teacher. So shout out to Mr. Harris. So our teachers are on the line. Thank you so much for joining our NYCSA and also our campaign presentation. So everyone, please make sure you utilize in the Google Classroom. Let parents know, like maybe ask your teacher if you can post an announcement about the NYCSA account and also about the CEC election. Again, the recording for today, we will be posting it on the Parent Coordinator Team channel. So if you would like to review this presentation, or hey, if one of your colleagues missed it, it's fine. You can watch it. Maybe have a lunch break and watch it together, and strategize. How can you spread the word for the next account? Let's see what's in the chat. Do we have anyone who wants to share? How are you going to use the information you learned today? Oh, we have Kim Rivera, who mentioned yes, and we love our PC, especially my Nancy Rodriguez. So shout out Nancy Rodriguez. I also want to make sure to shout out our partners in this work, our PAPTA Executive Board, our CEC team, our President's Councils. They are there. They are working with us to ensure that families understand what's going on. So shout out to our extended family, everyone that's family facing, who's really supporting family engagement in our school systems. Okay, I have Marcella. She said that after this, she's gonna try to get everyone signed up. That's what we want to hear. Actually, I'm gonna put my pom-pom up.
I'm sorry, I can't actually get the link for the attendance.
You can't get the attendance link? Okay.
No.
Let's drop it again. So let's do 2 share outs, and I think we're done. We're gonna play some music, and our this Friday session is officially done. I'm gonna turn it over.
Gary, can I ask you a question, please?
The name of the session.
Can I ask you a question, Derry?
Absolutely. Is this Daria?
Yes.
Hi,
okay, so
think we lost you, Gloria.
Oh, the name of the session.
Oh, the name of the session is Face NYCSA Information
Session.
Everything just,
Thank
guys,
you.
folks, everything is alphabetized on that form. So it's not too far down the list, but you'll see when it's on there. I mean, you'll know you scrolled too far if you're below the F's. So it is in alphabetical order. It is Space NYCSA Information Session. Fill that out. It's been posted in the chat a few times. That gets the ball rolling on the CTLE for those of you who need CTLE, okay?
Awesome. Thank you
So,
so much.
Deary, how long for the question that the form that we filled out? How long is the turnaround time with the answers? Because there's 2 questions that I need. Because I'm working on it now. So I know it's not now you're gonna give it to me, but when would those answers be?
So we do have our Puma on the line. She can actually, we're gonna send it to her. Have access, but if you want to drop your email, you want to send her a private chat question on the chat, you can do that. You can also email your parent empowerment liaison or the FLC, and then they can follow up with us. But the best way to fill out the form, we would definitely post that on the parent coordinator team channel.
What's her name? Panan Das? That's her?
It's Poonam.
Poonam.
Putting my
Poonam.
email in the chat.
Poonam. Okay, you send a link for a Vimo link, a video. It's not going through, just to let you know.
Yeah, it seems that usually it might be like on your computer settings, you might have like a certain
A block.
Yeah, a block, exactly. So it might appear that it's probably stating like what is it saying?
In the trash, or what is that at the yeah.
Yeah. But I can send you like an MP4 file via email. Just email me. I'll put my email in the chat.
All the links.
Yes.
All right, so all the links today that we shared today, we're gonna put it on the parent coordinator team chat. So please make sure because I saw so many amazing links. We're gonna just repeat the information, add it on the parent coordinator team channel so you don't miss the links. And with that said, we are done with our Friday. Thank you again, Pamela Johnson. Thank you so much, Poonam, for joining us on our Friday. A friendly reminder that we are not live next Friday because we are off. So please enjoy your time off. We're back on February 26th. February 26th, and it's part 2 on facilitation, best practice for remote facilitation. Laura, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Again, folks, just thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your day to attend our session. I'm so happy that we had quite a number of you on the line today. So I want to thank our presenters, Pamela and her team. I want to thank all of you for coming. Again, the link for attendance is in the chat, and I know folks keep asking. Please click on that link. If for some reason it's not working, you can go into your browser and type in digin, that's DIGIN .nyc/ remote attendance. That's the address. So digin.nyc/ remote attendance. That gets you to the form. And then the name of this session is Face NYCSA Information Session. All right. By filling that out, we capture your email and your information. We know that you're here. You will get a follow-up email. And then just keep in mind, because I know a lot of folks have asked about where can we get supplemental information, the recording from today's session, all of that will be posted in our PC team. Okay, so I'll drop the link to that in the chat as well. If you're not a member of our PC team, you need to join. All right, I know that we had what was it at the beginning of January? I know that we had some folks who were getting a little frustrated with that team because people were emailing and whatnot. But I think we've worked out most of the settings with that, so you shouldn't be getting a bunch of emails. But just for the sake of getting information and for making sure you have all the resources that all of you keep asking for, join the team, all right? I know that sometimes some of you put your emails in the chat. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't do anything with that. So stop putting your emails in the chat. Join the team. That is how you get information. We don't do one-off emails. We don't have the capacity to do that. We're a small team. So just join the Microsoft team, and through there, I promise you, you'll get everything you need. You'll get the recording from today. We'll make sure that we get all of the resources and links that were shared. We'll put it all in a message. So just join the PC team if you're not part of it. If you are, then you already know we always share out, all right? But with that, folks, let's go ahead and end. We typically, give you a little bit more time, but you know what? I think we're all feeling like, we just need some time today. So I'm going to go ahead and end our meeting. Remember, we're taking a 2-week break. Next Friday is Lunar New Year. And the Friday after that, hopefully we are all enjoying our midwinter recess. But we will be back at the end of February with another fabulous session. So again, folks, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, a great weekend. Remember to stay safe and be well out there, folks.
Bye.